Jack Carbone's coming in. Is he?
I just called him.
Talking.
He said he's around the corner.
He'll be
Now
right here.
it's on the air, so
He'll be here in a minute.
no swearing, no cursing.
We're getting new combs and brushes and toothpaste and everything for the bed and to get tidied up before the meetings.
Okay, this is a regular meeting of the City of Hornell Industrial Development Agency. It's the first session of our video conferencing. The video conferencing is provided for the Hornell residents for several reasons. Number one, it's required by the state. And also, we want to be transparent and educate the community and its residents on what we do, how we do it, and future projects, they will have an opportunity to view what we do. And we're very supportive of live streaming these sessions. This is a regular meeting of the City of Hornell Industrial Development Agency. The date is January the 9th, 2020. The time is 5:35. Present is myself, Chairman Sam Naska, Member George Creek, Member Dave Parbley, Member John Buckley, Member John Carbone, and newly appointed member Ed Feitz. Ed, welcome to the board. We're working with you and the contributions you can make in the future. I know we've exchanged some conversation, and I'm looking forward to your service on the board.
Thank you very much.
Also present is James Griffin, CEO, Executive Director, Sean Hogan, our Executive Consultant, Margaret Frangillo, Administrative Assistant, John Dagan, our agency in-house attorney, Bill Dugan from WLEA, Chris Potter, Evening Tribune reporter, and Bob Peischer from Peischer Productions. We, as a result of revisions of the board and new appointments, we are required to rearrange the committees and some of the officers. Now, this is not our annual meeting appointments. This basically is filling vacancies and appointing revisions to the committees as necessary. So the new appointments will be Samuel Naska, Chairman, Dave Parmalee, Vice Chairman, John Carbone, Secretary, John Buckley, Assistant Secretary, Ed Fleitz, Treasurer and Chief Financial Officer, and newly appointed George Preet. He will be the Assistant Treasurer. It's a non-voting position, and it's basically required within our audit committee charter, which states, when feasible, the immediate past audit committee chair will continue serving as a member of the audit committee for at least 1 year to ensure an orderly transition. So it's supported within our documents. Committee chairs or committees will be as follows.
I think
Personnel Committee.
You need a motion to accept the new officer.
Well, I'm gonna,
Okay.
yeah, let's have a motion to accept the officers as presented. Motion Dave Parmalee, John Buckley, second. For the question, any questions? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
That resolution passes. Committee appointments. Personnel Committee, Chairman Dave Parmalee, Member Ed Fleitz, Member John Carbone. Audit Committee, Chairman John Carbone, Member Ed Fleitz, Member Dave Parmalee, Member George Preet. Governance Committee, Chairman myself, Member John Carbone, Member John Buckley. I'll accept a motion to approve those appointments.
Make the motion.
John Buckley, second, Ed Fleitz. For the question? Any questions? Not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I need a resolution to authorize any board member that wishes to attend the educational forum put on by the New York State Economic Development Council on January 28th, 29th, and 30th in Albany. A resolution to approve board members that wish to attend. Motion. George? Or no?
I can.
Ed? Ed? Second, John Buckley. Question on that? No questions? All those in favor? Opposed?
Aye.
Also, I need a motion to approve attendance at the International Economic Development Council meeting February 9 through 11. Motion, Dave Parmalee, second by Ed Fleitz. All those in favor? Opposed?
Aye.
That motion carries. Any old business?
And now I'm gonna go on to new business, and I wanna turn it over to Sean Hogan, who's been working.
As you know, our last meeting, Griff gave you a pretty, you authorized us that we can file an application with, to Street Act for $750,000 to further develop Shaman to of building a shovel-ready site. And part of the application of Street Act is we had to get an engineer that would outline the scope of the work and determine, go through and lay it out and get ready to and determine what's there and do the stormwater drainage report. Also do the a full-blown seeker and lay it out and whatever. So we can let a contract to whomever to perform the actual site work up there and get it shovel ready. Well, after reviewing the proposal we had from two regional MRB group and Fagan, after going through the proposals that were submitted, the Fagan engineers out of Elmira was much more comprehensive in their scope of the work. They would do existing conditions and mapping. They would do a concept plan. They would do a grading and utility plan. They would do the stormwater pollution prevention plan, the SWIP. They would attend project meetings. They would do the full-blown seeker, and they would also do all the forms and documentation for environmental issues. And also they would coordinate with Foundation Design PC to do all the geotechnical work, which would consist of, and this was the same company that did the geotechnical work for Reedman's proposed project, further up. So they're familiar with the property, and they've already done some extensive testing. So they'll be doing some they will review existing data, perform new borings, subcontract backhoe to excavate test pits, and if the city can provide the backhoe, you can remove $1,250 from this cost. Basic lab testing for samples, sieves, organic content, moisture content test, and they would submit pre-development geotechnical assessment containing site description, full depths, discussion and reuse of on-site material, depth of bedrock and groundwater impacts or the proposed construction, and potential foundation systems that could be used for the structure. So it's very comprehensive, and the price, after some dickering back and forth, is $25,000, not to exceed $25,000, which is very reasonable.
Let me just say,
That's
we
cool.
sought out engineering prices and specs on this, and Sean has spent the last couple of weeks dealing with engineering firms and potential developers, building contractors some of them would do this kind of work.
Yeah.
And, as a result of getting prices and sitting down and negotiating with each one of these, the apparent one that we would suggest after listening to all of them is the one that Sean has suggested.
Fagan engineers out of Elmira.
they've got a good reputation.
Yeah,
They do.
yeah.
We've done work with them before, but we did seek out other bids on it.
Yeah.
Some didn't want to deal with it. So, but the Fagan's one that knows the area.
Yeah.
They've done work for us before. So
MRB submitted a proposal, and that wasn't as comprehensive as what this has been thing there. I mean, they're both very reputable, good firms,
right.
but in this instance, the Fagan is much more comprehensive.
So that would include a seeker and all that?
Yeah, and the stormwater drainage, the full blown seeker, it's long form. And also the stormwater drainage report and subsurface investigation. So it's all comprehensive. They would even recommend what type of foundations to build and necessary stuff like that.
Go back to the necessity of this too. This seems kind of short period of time to get this done, but as a result of our resolution last month to go ahead and decide to do the project up there to get it site ready through the shovel ready Street Act money, $750,000. In order to get to that stage of getting the $750,000, you have to have this done. So it's the first step. And just so we're clear on this money will not be reimbursable out of that $750,000. That'll be an investment made by the IDA in our property. And we've looked at it 18 different ways. We've been developing the industrial park up there for 30 years, and that one area of it never got developed. And we own the property. If we're ever going to do anything with it, whether it's Alstom or whether it be someone else, we need to have that thing laid out and ready, shovel ready, so that we could build quickly. And any of the projects that we've been talking with, timing is of the essence. And I'm not saying that if we do this, we'll have a new building up there tomorrow. It may never come up there, but we want to be ready so that when somebody walks in, we can take them up and say, here's your site, here's where you can build your building. And for that, we're asking the IDA to invest about $25,000 of their money in the project.
And we would already have, the stormwater drainage plan and the full-blown seeker in hand for
Is that they're ready to go?
Right.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Jim, how long is the street money available for?
Well, as soon as we get our application in, we've got it pretty well set aside for us right now.
The only thing Heather was waiting for is this approval and the scope of the work that entails, which would be part of the application, and I think we're ready to go.
George, my feeling at the Street Act Board, and I've obviously been in touch with them, I'm chairman of it, but the money is kind of set aside right now for us, and I anticipate that when this study gets done and our full-blown application goes into the Street Act, I'm hoping it'll be in there by March. And it's a short time frame. We get it approved in March, we can begin to get out and let contracts for site development by April. I know it's a short time frame, but we need to get that ready.
Well, that's why it's good too, because they have the geotechnical firm that is already familiar with the property and already done some work. So we're a step ahead of where we would have been. And I would recommend that the board approve this not to exceed 25,000, and they're ready to start immediately.
All right,
I'll make that.
motion.
second.
Motion made formally, second John Carlton. This is a resolution.
Which was the other one?
So,
Well, they
John
did
Buckley,
the ones that fall.
Yes.
It was
Ed Flake,
Yes.
John Carbone,
Yes.
Dave Farley,
it didn't include
myself, yes. That resolution passes.
geotechnical. It didn't include the seeker.
Yeah, but you're right out there too, though, right? 1,000.
Yeah.
Sean, did you have the, I guess that's.
What's that?
So we're ready to complete our meeting. Actually, the reason for this meeting was to put the officers on the board for this coming year, but this came up and it was an opportunity. I would guess that we'll probably have another meeting. We're working around things probably sometime in February to finalize we hope we can have our Street Act application ready to roll by then, so. Okay.
Anything else, Sean?
No, that's it for now. That was the important one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I drew these up today. I just wanted to pass them out to the board members and Sean and Griff, and I'll just pass them around. These are just priorities and goals for the board for the upcoming year, and we don't have to discuss each one of them today, but these are some of the things and some of the projects that we've touched base on over the last year, and I think it's just important for us to really have a laser focus going forward on some of these projects. And one thing I'd like to see is a monthly status report for the board members from Sean and Jim. Just maybe something in writing so we can just have it in front of us going into the meetings. Something to review as to the progress and kind of where we are, just to kind of gauge our progress as we get into the new year on these projects.
This is excellent, and this is the these are the projects we're working on almost every day. So yeah, we'll make a more formal presentation to the board on each one of them on a monthly basis.
I know we talk on the phone back and
Yeah.
forth, but I think as a group, as a board, it'd be nice just to have a report of us and
Yeah.
similar to what we do with the
So
city.
we can go right down and I can address all these, probably 90% of these right now.
Yeah.
But we'll wait for another meeting.
Yeah.
We'll do the first one in the February meeting. We'll go down through them all and bring everybody up to speed. And then if anybody, now that you have this list of things, these are what we're working on presently. So if you have any questions or input, obviously pick up the phone and call myself or Sean or John, and we'll keep you updated. I've always appreciated the fact that our board has been totally involved in almost in every project. And I mean, we make certain that we contact them. I mean, I don't think there's any of the board members that would argue with the fact that we probably get to be a pain in the neck sometimes, calling, trying to keep you up to speed on it. And but it's important so that when you come to a meeting like this and you're asked to make decisions based on it, it fits our priorities and goals.
Sean, is there any money available through the state brownfield remediation program?
Let me go and I'll just address this one thing. I met this week, Griff and I met this week on the Hornell Waste. We met with Frank Spatunik and with Alan Knopf, the attorney for that, and they are involved in the brownfields process right now. And they're that close to getting approved. They've had to do multiple testing. DEC has wanted them to test the backyards of some of the residents that bordered the thing, which has been completed. They've got all the documentation of DEC. Once that's a very viable and a very developable piece. Once it's gets cleared and finally gets into the brownfield program, it's very lucrative tax credits for any developers. So say if you're going to spend $10 million, you could be eligible for $1 million tax credit. So it's very lucrative for developers in that sense.
Yeah.
But it's also in the opportunity zone, which also makes it a very viable developable piece. It's about 16 acres, and it's really the last truly I would say virgin property as far as development. There's nothing there. It's wide open acreage.
Right.
So, and we had a meeting this week, and so that's progressing. And that thing, as far as the Rockland Silk Mill goes project, the old Marion Road building,
Yeah, we're moving forward with that.
we're moving forward with that. We've had a meeting this week and discussions this week with Andy Bodeweiss. And one of the issues there is that the SHPO, because that's a historic preservation project, wants him to try to rehabilitate those windows. Those windows are excess 100 years old and doesn't make sense environmentally for energy efficiency or for noise reduction. And so he is met there today with his architect to make a case to SHPO that the windows should be replaced. Architecturally sympathetic to what's there,
Sure.
but a more efficient thing. So that's
What do they do at the Lincoln School with those windows?
they replaced them.
They're replaced.
Yeah,
I mean, they've made them.
look just like it was there, and just like they would, just like the Federation.
Don't forget, you've got, the new ones will be insulated.
Yeah.
For sound, for one thing up there. They'll look identical to the ones, so it's not gonna change the historic.
Won't change the character of the building.
And the energy efficiency alone is a big
Yeah.
piece of the puzzle.
We did reach out to Harris Beach, who have been involved in several of these
Yeah.
across the state. And they talked to Bodeweiss last week and gave him some good advice on how to put the application together, so we'll be following up.
Andy called today after he left there, and I was going to that meeting, so it went to voicemail. So I haven't listened to the voicemail, but we'll see what his progress was. Now, as far as the old St. James building and the grounds go, at the end of this month you'll be meeting with John Capasso, and I also will be talking to him about a potential development there, but as you know, they have, if nothing can be done with those buildings, they would agree to remove them.
Yeah, and I've had a series of meetings with Brian O'Donovan.
Right.
Conferences, and, you know, we've had similar discussions. That's the one we really.
Yeah, the key there,
on
we've already determined it's about 9.8 acres of developable land if it's cleared. We have had some discussions with potential developers that may want to reuse some of the existing infrastructure there, but we don't want to get too into that. But we,
I believe St. James has use of the facility for the 6 months after they leave.
Right, yeah, so they can button it up, so that's there. And there are some developments with the northern end of the Wegmans Walmart Plaza. We got some decent news today, but we're not at liberty to say until the other party signs on, so. Everything here is being worked on, yeah.
So,
Okay. All right, any further business to come before this board? There's not. Motion to adjourn. Motion by John Buckley, second by Dave Conley. All those in favor? Aye. We're adjourned.